In May 2024, a video surfaced online where the boy group 17's latest album, called 17 Is Right Here, was spotted in bulk-filled boxes on the streets of Shibuya, Japan, with the sign reading, "Feel free to take any you want." People were wondering why these albums were there in the first place. People were speculating that the fans of 17 bought the album in bulk for the photo cards and codes for resale. However, this is not the first time that this has happened in the K-pop world. This also happened to 17 previously, with a similar sign saying anyone can take albums if they wanted, leaving the boxes of albums at a cafe and on the streets in Korea. This has happened to many other groups as well, like NCT, Stray Kids, and Hyphen, etc., with their albums being dumped out in the streets or by a trash can, some with a note on top saying anyone can take how many they want. Many people online were showing their disappointment of fans bulk buying, then leaving their open albums to perish, with one comment saying, "This is one of my least favorite parts of K-pop fan culture. The mass buying, mass discarding of physical albums. What a waste. Give them out at fan events like idol birthday events or music shows. Most fans can't afford to mass buy and will happily take a free extra." Though K-pop fans buy merch to show support to their favorite group, all this merchandise is leading to waste and affecting the environment negatively. Let's break down on why people are buying these albums in the first place. Fans are buying these albums not only because they like the music and want to support their favorite groups, but to get the inclusions that come with the albums. These types of inclusions include postcards, posters, stickers, and photo cards. And photo cards are the most important item for K-pop fans, and that is the primary reason for buying these albums. For those who don't know what a photo card is, they are ID-sized pictures of a member, unit, or the whole group. The most popular and desired that fans collect is a photo card of one member. It's randomized, so you don't know who you're gonna get, which makes it more exciting to hope that you get your favorite member. It makes buying albums more exciting and anticipating. However, you would have to buy multiple albums to get a better chance of receiving the member you want, or to get the whole collection of all the photo cards. However, there will be duplicates, so fans buy in bulk to increase the chances of getting a variety of photo cards. On top of this, these albums have different versions to them. Each of these different versions have a theme for each book and have their own inclusions, and these inclusions are different from each version. With different versions, they would have to buy multiple of these versions to complete their set, and each version has its own inclusions and photo cards. So one photo card of one member from one version is different from a photo card of the same member in a different version. On top of this, companies produce multiple albums per year, creating more waste from fans. For example, let's use 17's 10th mini album called FML, which has 4 different versions. The first version has a depressed layback concept, the second version has a more corporate office look, the third version has a boxing concept, and lastly the fourth version has a wedding theme concept. Like I said, each version has its own inclusions and they come randomized. However, all of the music is the same regardless of what album you choose. Photo cards can get really crazy. It can get up to 100 in an album, and some fans will try to collect every single one of them.
I am at a loss for what 418 photo cards for one comeback. To all my OT13 collectors, I am so sorry. Honestly, to any 17 collectors, any member, praying for you because good luck.
And some comments under their TikTok. OT13 collector here. For almost every comeback, I gotta say this one hurts the bank. I'm gonna need a bigger photo card binder. 17, more like 7,000. So yes, there are fans out there that will collect every single photo card. So after they take all the inclusions out, the albums is left out in the streets because they have no more use for them anymore. Aside from the photo cards, another reason why fans buy in bulk is so that they can enter and win fan signs. For those of you who don't know, fan signs are special events where fans can meet and talk to the members of their group personally. They can be face-to-face fan signs or can be virtual FaceTime calls. To attend a fan sign, you have to buy an album in order to enter, and the more albums you buy, the more of a chance you can win a ticket. It's like a lottery system. Fans buy in bulk, then after, whether they win or lose, they have all these albums left, which is all attached to mass consumerism and wastefulness since they have no more use of the albums anymore. One fan said that she spent about $2,000 to buy albums in bulk and enter raffles for fan signs. She managed to win 2 tickets out of them. Each time you buy an album, it counts into the chart. But because one person can buy hundreds of albums, it brings up the argument that album sales doesn't really mean much since fans are bulk buying these albums, which questions whether the charge should reflect on the group's popularity. This is why sold out tours matters much more than selling albums. K-pop companies become filthy rich by fans obsessed with numbers. All those albums wasted and becoming trash and pollution, and for what? Mass buying and album dumping are not only wasteful, it contributes to plastic waste, which Korea produces a lot per year, about 800 tons of plastic last year, and that's just physical albums, including CDs, photocards, and the wrapping vinyl alone. The albums are not made of materials that can be easily sent to be recycled, so at the end of the day, they get incinerated instead. Not only is this wasteful, but some say that this is also disrespectful to the people who worked so hard on the album. All this waste a lack of respect for the artists and employees who work on these albums. Besides, it shows another problem with fans who are no longer appreciated of the work of artists and think of only the photo card. Also, all these albums comes with CDs. However, most people receiving these CDs will not be using them since 85% of all music is consumed through streaming, and it is not the CDs themselves that they want from the inclusions. Most of these fans stream music on Spotify, Apple Music, and YouTube Music because it's much more convenient. Especially when going out, all people need is their smartphones, and they have a whole library of music, rather than carrying a CD player with many CDs on you. If fans were listening to CDs, it would be at home on a CD player. Otherwise, most fans do not use the CDs. Same thing with vinyls and cassette tapes. These are more a decorative collecting item instead of usage, and about 1,400 tons of plastic waste were just CDs alone. CDs are made up of aluminum and other materials. These are not recyclable and can end up in a landfill. These materials are mixed together, which are nearly impossible to recycle. One of China's most popular online idol competition shows, called Youth with You, was suspended days before its season finale due to a vote-in promotion resulting in crazed fans wasting vast quantities of milk. A video surfaced on the internet that soon went viral, showing a group of middle-aged people opening dairy bottles, pouring them into buckets, and dumping the buckets into a drainage ditch. They weren't interested in the milk, they were interested in the bottle cap with QR codes printed on the inside that can be scanned to vote for contestants. It was unclear when and where this video was recorded, but it is known that some fans spend absurd amounts of money to help their favorite contestants win. According to the show's rules, viewers can cast up to 3 votes per day for each of their favorite contestants on the app or the website. Additional votes can be earned by purchasing the sponsored product. To ensure that their favorite contestants does well, fan clubs raise money to buy these products in bulk and tally more votes. There's no limit, so fans can buy as much as they can afford, which leads to buying more than they can consume, resulting in the excess milk being poured into sewers. This whole situation went against the anti-food waste law, thus resulting in the show being suspended and the finale never aired. Since this went viral, people have shown their disgust with the food waste when there are people in need who could make use of that milk. Some people are blaming the design of the bottle, where you have to open the cap to access the QR code. Everyone knows it's bad to waste food. At the root of the problem are the sponsors and the production team. If they hadn't printed the votes inside the bottle caps, who would be throwing away these drinks? Otherwise, even if the fans purchase boxes of milk, the unopened ones could be donated to charity. It's the voting system that needs to be improved. This whole situation is environmentally problematic since excess milk can severely damage the land area. It can get into public waterways, reducing the oxygen content and killing aquatic life. Also, this is just immorally wrong that food is being wasted when there are people out there that could greatly benefit from these milk products. There can be actions that can resolve these problems to stop waste and use these excess albums. Fans can resell them on reselling sites. However, it is hard to see a high selling rate since these albums are seen as empty shells and valueless. These albums can also be sold at thrift stores.
I don't know about you, but I always end up with too many extra K-pop albums, especially for BTS member solo releases. So what do I do with all of these extra albums? There is a used bookstore franchise called McKay's where I take everything. It's a great way to earn a little bit of money back and make sure the albums go to someone and not in a landfill. So you put everything in these bins, take them up to the counter, and they'll give you a ticket with your number on it. This place has a lot of really cool stuff. There's lots of toys, Funko Pops, video games, manga, and tons of books. There's even a new K-pop section, which I'm sure I have added a lot to. Sometimes they will not take everything that you bring in, but for K-pop albums, I haven't run into that problem. Once your order has been processed, your number will come up on this screen and you have a choice between store credit and cash. I usually choose cash and I put that money back into my collection.
Another thing fans can do is create scrapbooks from the K-pop album photo books. Another solution is that fans have been donating the albums instead of dumping out in the streets. However, organizations in Korea have complained of fans donating opened albums and some of the albums come damaged. They complained that these fans were dumping the albums onto them and would request donation certificates and press releases even though the albums are little use to anyone they are being donated to. An orphanage that accepts donations revealed that they cannot turn down album donations due to them not wanting to be picky. Here's some perspective on the organization organization receiving these kinds of donations. When I ask the kids if they want an idol album, they go, "Albums again?" They ask me why people keep sending these albums, and what am I supposed to tell them? Red Cross once tried to turn down an idol album donation, and the Senators threatened to file official complaints against the organization for being shady about charity. There are even fans agreeing that albums do not make good donations. It doesn't matter if the albums are open or not, they mean nothing to people who don't stand the groups. What use will little kids have? Though donation is another solution, it might not be the greatest option for giving away albums. I think a better solution would be to give away the albums to special fan events, since it's given to people who actually are interested in them. There are special idol birthday events, cup series events, and album release parties. These are a much more appropriate atmosphere to send off these albums. Instead of making fans buy so many albums to enter into fan signs, companies should make fan sign tickets available, like concert tickets. They should make fan sign tickets. Instead of having photo cards randomized, companies should sell individual items separately from the album in a set, or put all photo cards available in one album. Also, fans mentioned that they really enjoyed the concept of the New Jeans' first EP album. Once you buy one of the albums, you get all the inclusions. It's not randomized. So the albums that you buy, it's the inclusion that's in all of the albums. There are member versions. Once you buy a member version, you get all the inclusion that's related to the member. These are also not randomized. And fans express their support in the different direction. Standing New Jeans is a collector's dream. I love that we don't have to trade for anything. I'm definitely gonna collect all the versions in the future. New Jeans albums are so generous with all the inclusions, especially the photo cards. Like for example, imagine you're collecting this member, just get her album and you have so many inclusions for her. It makes collecting so much easier. Whoa, these albums comes with so much, I love it. New Jeans albums give so much items. The good news is, in recent years, there are several groups that made their albums more environmentally conscious. JYP, who's in charge of groups like Twice and Stray Kids, vowed to reduce waste associated with physical album purchases by digitally distributing some exclusive content instead. HYBE, who's behind BTS, has started printing photocards and albums using more sustainable materials like biodegradable plastics and soy-based ink. A rapper of BTS, J-Hope, has made his solo album, Jack in the Box, without a physical CD. It still contains photocards, but the album comes in minimal packaging. The boy group Victon, their album called Chronograph, has a more environmentally sensitive approach. Fans will be sent a photocard and sent a code for the digital album. Fans were really happy when hearing the news. This is so good. The environment definitely should come first rather than sales record. This is so awesome. I really like the idea. It's good for the environment and also cheaper for fans. GOT7's JB solo album is made from eco-friendly and recyclable materials, packaged with paper envelopes. YG announced that their group's future albums will be eco-friendly. So you can see that some companies are making a change to making their albums more friendly to the environment. After doing my research, I have come to think that there may be one con to all this change. There would be no more anticipation and surprise since the inclusions won't be randomized, since you know exactly what you're getting. You see a lot of overconsumerism in idol fandoms that can lead to harmful effects on the environment. I think both situations of the mass buying of albums and the milk dumping can be savable. The extra albums can always be sold again or given away to fans, and for the milk situation, it could have always been given away and consumed by somebody else. Overall, with my genuine opinion, I don't think things are going to change drastically anytime soon. The companies will still produce albums like this because it makes them more money, and cutting back on making albums like this will lead to a decrease in their profit. Even if they do change to more eco-friendly material, they would still produce randomized inclusions with different versions of albums. And these randomized inclusions is one of the reasons that leads to all these album dumpings. Still, money will rule over the companies, but it's nice to see that a company as big as YG and JYP is making a change to this. It is also nice to see that the Chinese government is making a change in food waste. The root of the problem would not be with the entertainment companies, but instead with the entertainment industry and the people leading the entertainment competitions. Physical sales can still exist, but it should not be the way of winning. While there are efforts made by the community to adopt better sustainable habits, I guess only time will tell if the industry can change to make their marketing more profitable with an increasingly environmentally sensitive fan base. Okay, that is all for today's video. Comment how you feel about the overconsumption in the idol industry. Do you think it's justified since these albums and photo cards gives joy to these fans? Or do you think it's wrong for any of this to happen? See you guys next time!